Hello, everyone. Now we're going to learn Part 3, the basic structure and working principles of PLC. First is the basic structure of PLC. Besides core CPU, a complete PLC shall include the following main parts. 1. Memory, used to store system program, user program, intermediate computation data, etc. 2. Input interface circuit, which transmits the voltage signal from the external circuit to PLC internal circuit through the optical coupler. 3. Output interface circuit, which converts CPU operation results into output of a certain power form to drive the controlled load. 4. Peripheral interface circuit, used to connect the external devices such as the programmer or the communication network. 5. Power supply, which transforms the power supply into the working power supply required for PLC internal circuit. Next is the working principles of PLC. S7-1200 PLC has 3 working modes as follows, which can be switched in TIA portal. First, the stop mode. In this mode, the run/stop indicator light on PLC panel is orange and always on. CPU processes all the communication requests and performs self-diagnosis. Programs can be downloaded to the CPU, but no user programs are executed. Second, the startup mode, which is the startup process of PLC. In this mode, PLC will perform power-on diagnosis and system initialization, and run/stop indicator light will alternately flash yellow and green. At this time, the following tasks are performed. A. PLC will reset the input image memory. B. Initialize the outputs using the last output values from the previous run mode or replace them with alternative values. C. Execute a startup OB block once. D. Copy the status of physical inputs to the input image memory. E. During the startup mode, PLC does not respond to interrupt requests but stores all interrupt events in a queue to be processed when it switches to run mode. F. Enable the write operation from the output image memory to the physical outputs. After startup, the PLC enters run mode, indicated by a constantly lit green light. CPU begins to enter the scanning operation state, and each scan goes through the following 5 processes. 1. PLC writes the calculation results from the last cycle stored in the output image memory to the physical output points. 2. Copy the status of physical inputs to the input image memory. 3. Execute the program cycle OB block. The OB block is where users write and store programs. CPU scans and executes according to the sequence of the user program. If there are no jump instructions, CPU will start executing the user program from the first instruction one by one until the end of the program. 4. Execute self-diagnosis. 5. Process interrupts and communication in real time. CPU performs steps 1 to 5 in each scan, and the user program is executed from beginning to end. Each scan cycle requires the execution of tasks. This repetitive working method of the PLC is known as periodic cycle scanning. The PLC programs we write are executed once in each scan cycle. Since each scan takes only a very short time, ranging from tens to hundreds of milliseconds, the switching signals of the input points can be instantly captured by the PLC, and the output signals of the output points can also be instantly outputted to control the operation of the load. Periodic cycle scanning is a very important concept in PLC. Please understand it thoroughly. Third, the internal memory. S7-1200 internal memory mainly includes several parts as follows. Input process image area, I area, and output process image area, Q area. These 2 areas are used to store the input signal status read by the input module and the output signal status that will be sent to the external output module, respectively. During program execution, the CPU reads the status of input signals from the input process image area, writes the computation results into the output process image area, and then outputs the signals to external devices. Bit memory, M area. Bit memory is an internal soft component, used to store intermediate computation results. It cannot receive external input signals or drive external loads. Temporary memory, L-area. Temporary memory is used to store the temporary data during program processing. When a code block is invoked, CPU automatically allocates temporary memory for the code block. When the code block execution is finished, CPU releases the temporary memory for use by other code blocks. The temporary memory is similar to the bit memory, M-area, yet it's local and can only be accessed by the code block that is currently executing. Data block, DB area. Data block is an area used to store user data. Users can define all types of data within it, such as integers, floating point numbers, and Boolean quantities. In today's lesson, we provided a detailed overview of the basic structure and working principles of PLC. PLC is not a real-time signal processing system but operates on a periodic cycle scanning mode. I hope that you can think and understand it thoroughly, which will help you solve some problems in subsequent programming studies. That concludes today's lesson. Thank you for your attention. See you next time.